Zeke Matter was in here this morning. Looks like 10 minutes to 5. My third live stream. Morning of December 9th. Saturday, December 9th, 2023. So this has to do with a friend of mine, Jeremy Bernstein, that I started being caregiver for many years ago. And then so reported twice to Adult Protective Services about that he's been, his mom has Munchausen by proxy like mine has, and that my sister was saying that's the reason you're there, because it reminds you of home, the environment there. And then, except his mom is profiting financially from abusing the kid, sabotaging his relationships and his career, as mine does, but she's doing it to keep him sick and dependent on her so she can collect the funds, the fortunes that she's learned to maximize, the fortune from regional center. And there's a lot of this going on. It's prevalent. Social engineering, the policies that make people keep their kids sick, keep their dependents sick for profit. And then she made everybody sign non-disclosure agreements and then threaten them from reporting. And I posted my recording of a friend of mine, caregiver there, who reported to me a lot of stuff, and he was fired because he was reporting to me. And then so the method they were using, so they blackmailed everybody and threatened to sue. They blackmailed Jeremy, the caregiver, and the mom. So what they do from the very beginning, so his compulsion to play video game because of his condition, autism, they would exploit that. So I was instructed from the very beginning years ago when I started to turn off the main power switch, and I'm claiming my whistleblower protection by reporting this to you publicly because I'm a mandated reporter, and I need to get it across that this friend of mine has been abused all this time for profit. I have to report because I'm a mandated reporter, and the reason the reports that I submitted to the regional center didn't work was because of this method they're using. So they blackmailed the kid by provoking, turning off the main power switch to that room that has the desktop computer on which he plays the Fortnite. When he at the time was playing Fortnite, now he plays a different game. But because of his condition, he would be that the moment you do that, even if you say, I'm going to go turn off the main power switch, which was a method that was taught to do, he goes, if you do that, I'll get physical, and he would. And he was taking medication and for that. But when I first found out that that's his compulsive reaction, because of the pathological reaction that he has, I never did it again, because it's a cruel thing to do, and they do it intentionally to provoke him to get physical. And he's gotten into trouble for being physical. He could be, but because that makes him a danger, and then but gets threatened with action that would take his freedom away. He could be put in a facility and locked up, and he's aware of that. He takes medication to prevent him from getting physically violent because of that condition. So that's intentionally done to provoke him to get physical. And so when I was reporting this to the person, the investigator she was saying, well, we have to, she first told me that we have to go call law enforcement. We have to call the police. By law, we have to. I told her, do not, because he's scared of the police, because he's scared of being reported for getting violent when they turn off the main power switch to that room where he's playing the video game. They do that intentionally because Adult Protective Services does call law enforcement, and he's scared of being put away. So they blackmail him by provoking him to get violent, which he doesn't unless they do that thing that makes him physically violent, which they do intentionally, so that when the abuse they do to him is reported, they call law enforcement, and then because he doesn't want to be put away, his freedom restricted, he says, they're treating me fine, nothing wrong. He lies and covers up the dirt that they do. And Jeremy had so many times told me that he wished that his mom didn't have conservatorship, because the mom was preventing us all. We had written children's book together. We were documenting our experiences together to write a book to help others with these conditions, making all these videos together. He had opportunity to have a career making YouTube videos, acting, piano lessons. He was keyboard lessons. He was getting all this stuff that he could do. He kept being constantly scolded for not doing anything with his life, playing video games. And he was being constantly scolded for his diet, when very simple steps that was taken to improve his diet, they were preventing. They were scolding him constantly. So many fights in that house were happening because of his diet restrictions, where there were low cost, healthy alternatives to the sugary, the junk food that he was eating that he liked, but then that was being prevented. I was told, Zeke, are you a community facilitator or a caregiver? So I was working with two different agencies with two different roles, and all these gaslighting methods were being used on everybody there, including Jeremy, to perpetuate that condition, to prevent the reporting offered, mandated reporters forced to sign non-disclosure agreement and threatened from reporting, blackmailed. Everybody there, everybody involved is blackmailed, even the husband. Husband has been heard to say that the reason he stays in that relationship because if he doesn't, he would lose everything. I'm claiming my whistleblower protection rights to bring you this information. And so much of this going on. Dark secret family that I'm reporting, not wanting to get anybody into trouble, not accusing, blaming, or disrespecting. I respect that family. I worked for them. I'm loyal to them. I want them to be given immunity. I want everybody to be given immunity so that they will talk. The break the silence law I've been recommending, because families like my own that have this stuff going on, they protect the perpetrator because they know if word gets out, there may be legal problems. So punishing people is the flaw in the legal system, the justice system. They either punish, they incarcerate, or they fine, or suing is another aspect. Suing is used to blackmail people to prevent them from reporting of the abuse. It's used to abuse, and it's used to prevent the reporting because it's defamation. You're doing defamation. All this stuff going on that I'm reporting, People discourage the reporting of it. People don't do anything about it. Adult Protective Services, Child Protective Services, all the agencies don't do anything about it with these methods that they have, talking robotically and only receiving input that fits their agenda. I know all the method, the systematic, nationwide methods that are used to perpetrate, use the laws to profit from cruelty and prevent the reporting of it. I'm Zeke Badalosian. Good night.